Yeah, look, back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta.
Hey guys, Abby here. I am super stoked to be in the studio today with Sian McMullen.
What up, Abby?
Yes.
How you doing? We're here on location at Playback Los Angeles, so quick shout out to them. I know I said I was gonna do it at the end, but shit, we here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Always good to see you in person too.
First of all, thank you for having me in your humble abode. Shout out Playback. And dude, it's about time we did something on location because we have had, guys, a content journey.
Yes.
Like no other.
Yes.
For real.
The first interview.
True. We did 2 interviews. Two for sure. But we had to redo one of them because the video was weird. Yeah. So 2 interviews and a block. 3 videos.
3 videos. 2 that you see that you can find.
True. Let's go. So before we kick off and dive into all the tea, for those that are unfamiliar with you, let's start with who you are, what you do, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good. My name is Sian McMullen. I'm an engineer, producer, writer, lover of music, maker of music. I work primarily here in LA out of this studio, Playback Los Angeles. But I also do a bunch of remote work. I do lessons, I do one-on-one consultations, sell sound packs, and pretty much just anything audio related I'm down to do.
So before we pop the camera on, in general, you've been doing this for a while, you've built experience, you have credits under your belt. We spoke a little bit about it's your first project, that's yours.
Yeah.
How has it been for you, for someone that's been in maybe the engineer chair, the producer chair? How is it to suddenly work on your own art and then be ready to put that in the world?
Yeah, I appreciate you listening to the couple tracks I played too. Yeah, it's very like freeing because I feel like when you make music your job, that passion and that real like fire that you have for it, it can kind of diminish a little bit. And I think I mentioned in our previous interview like how my relationship with music has changed over the years. It's gone through ups and downs. Like when you just make it the job and it's only something you like as an engineer, it sounds corny, but you're really helping other people kind of make their dreams come true. And it's like such an honor to be trusted with that. Like, it's such a good feeling when somebody's like, I've never heard my voice sound like this. Yeah. And that's like so beautiful and so great, but you still have to feed your fire for it because as much as I feel like a lot of engineers do also come from a producing background, or maybe they grew up playing, instruments as a kid like I did. Like it's always been a love, I started making beats when I was like 13. I grew up playing drums. I've always enjoyed and been like, it's like a cool thing. It's a cool, fun way to express yourself. I don't write. I'm terrible at painting, so it's like just another way, another outlet. And it can be easy to lose sight of that. So working on my own stuff is like very freeing in a way and just like really fun. And I'm doing it like my project is a very much so a collaboration project where every beat is produced by me and somebody else, and all the vocalists are, it's different from track to track, and they're all good friends of mine and people that I like to work with and really respect their artistry and them as people. So having the freedom to be able to do that, I also have like great resources here at the studio where I can just invite people to record. I don't have to rely on people to record themselves and wait forever, or it be not good quality because they're not really engineers like that. It's like a freedom, and then also at the same time, weirdly, like a level of control that is granted to me that I also don't always have when I'm working on other people's music. Not that I'm necessarily looking for it, but to like be the ultimate decision maker on all of these tracks is also just, I think it's cool because decision fatigue, choice fatigue is so real. And I'm not big into the astrology shit, but like they say Libras are indecisive. I'm a Libra, and I definitely feel like that trait like falls on me. So kind of having to make those decisions, I think is good for me too. So very long-winded answer, but it's freeing and grants me a level of control that I don't always have working on other people's stuff. And I enjoy both of those things.
Dude, I love that for you. And that kind of sparked something in my mind. Since you kind of went on this journey of working on your own stuff from start to now you're in the mixing stage, would you say to other engineers, like, even if it's not something you put out, go on the journey of working on your own body of work to just see what it unlocks in you, you'd recommend that as?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know a lot of us are really busy, and then when we do have free time, like, I mean, I like just hanging out watching TV or playing video games or just taking naps. I love sleeping. So, like, it's important to fit all of those other things in too. And we have, you know, relationships, friendships, all these different things that we have to like juggle, right? I think like we've discussed burnout before. Yeah. And I think it's like really easy to get burnt out if you don't actually enjoy what you're doing, you know, and that goes for, I think, anything. So for me personally, it did like bring back a level of joy and passion that I was, you know, missing in my kind of day-to-day life, and like, you know, being motivated and looking forward to creating, it was, you know, something that I was lacking for a couple of months there, and I felt just really kind of in a low period. So yeah, if you are experiencing the level of burnout or just like kind of like, oh, why am I doing this? Or, you know, all the questions that come with life and your job and doing something for a long time, definitely just like have a session with your friends, hang out, like make something fun. I was telling Abby before the camera came on that like all of these tracks, some of them I started in 2023. There's been like no pressure. And then I realized like, oh, I kind of have a cool collection of songs that are done like recording wise. Like if I mix them, then they all sound good together on a project. Yeah. So it's been like over 2 years that I've been quote unquote working on this. But for the first year and a half, I didn't even know I was making a project, you know? Yeah. And so that level of freedom and like no pressure is also, again, just very freeing. And it just reminds me like, oh, why I started creating music in the first place, because I used to look forward to hanging out with my friends and make all us three making probably the world's shittiest beat together. But it was so fun. We had such a good time, and it can be easy to lose sight of that.
For sure. And I also want to jump back now, since you mentioned the whole burnout thing. I think it's a really interesting conversation because there's so much content and talk about, you know, the tools and things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. But like burnout is so common. And so what have been, like, how long did it take you into your career to maybe be aware of it, start to manage it? And besides finding the spark of joy and doing your own project, what are other ways that you kind of keep yourself out of that burnout state?
Yeah, I think we had talked about this too briefly in the last interview, and my answer is still the same. Like, I don't think I've like mastered it at all yet, but I will say probably around like I just turned 30 recently, so I think around like 24, 25, I really started to like look at my life a little bit differently, and I don't want to say like depressed, because I don't like, that's like a kind of a heavy word for it, and I don't want to misuse the word, but I became like, I was in a very low spot, like just mentally and emotionally, because I realized I was looking at my life kind of in meters, right? So I felt like my career meter was really high, but like every other meter of my life was super low. And like learning to say no, like I don't always have to go to the session when they call at 2 a.m. If I'm already doing something, I'm already out, like, or I'm just at home, I want to sleep, or I'm, you know, partying with some friends, whatever it is, it's like, it's okay to say no and not feel like, oh, if I just don't take this one, like it's gonna ruin my career. Like there are things to like, you know, consider with each of those situations, but just in general, learning to say no was big, because I think that allowed for me, I realized I need to like put myself first. I've been, I don't want to say on a health kick, but I've been taking my health a lot more seriously recently too. And I realized like if I want to do this for a long time, which I do, then I have to make sure that I'm like feeling good enough to do it for a long time too. So, you know, sleep, you can never get that back. There's no catching up on sleep. Like you have to get that. I think like not eating in the studio setting, it's like, oh, let's DoorDash some whatever, and it's a lot of junk food, you know? So make sure you eat something green a couple times a week, you know, that's important. For sure. And for me, like filling my like friends and family and relationship cup is really, really important to me. I'm, you know, fortunate to have a really good relationship with my family, and they live down in San Diego, some of them, so like it's important to me to like make sure I go see them or call my family that is like not around. My friends that are here and that I can see in person, I make it a point to see them in person and do stuff outside of the studio, because a lot of my friends are also within the music industry or do something related, and we hang out in the studio all the time, but like let's go grab lunch or like play mini golf or go bowling or, you know, just do something else that's like not in the studio. And then same thing with my relationship, like he also makes music too. It's great to like have a partner that you can just date night is like drinking a couple beers, making beats together. I love that. Yeah. That's great, but like we like to go out to dinner, like go to whatever events are happening around the city, or you know, there's a park very close to here that we like to go to and just like take a walk around the park. So just doing stuff outside of music. And then the ultimate, like what we already talked about, like hanging out with your friends who do make music, like when you do have a session, just have a no pressure, just for fun creating session to remind you all why you do this anyways. Like, yes, we all have jobs and are, you know, successful or have found a level of success, and you know, we're busy, we work on other people's stuff all the time, but like we also make it, so do that every now and then too. I think all of that is really important.
Such a underrated, I feel like it's just not spoken about enough.
I agree with you. I don't think it's spoken about either. I think people are becoming now like more vocal about it, as well as like, you know, anxiety and depression and other mental health things. Like all of the stigma for a long time for a lot of those types of things is just like, everybody experiences it, but we're not going to talk about it at all. So I think it's a good thing that it is getting spoken about more, but still not enough. One
more kind of theme on that topic that I want to point out is everything you said, for me, kind of falls into the, what's the word I'm looking for? You can be proactive about all these things at any stage of your career, which is awesome.
Yes. And I think, like, you know, obviously just with life in general, if we knew what we know now 10 years ago, we might have put ourselves in a better place, whatever that looks like, but that's just part of learning. But I do think, like, if you're earlier on in your career and you do recognize some of these things, you can, like, actively take steps to keep you from getting there so that you're in a more kind of even, like, place. Your relationship with music doesn't do all these like it's done for me. You know, if you can avoid that, I would. But it's all part of the process, too. Like, we all have to learn it some way, and it's not by getting told about it. It's by going through it, you know?
For sure. And I kind of want to hop over now to maybe the more career-y, I made that word up, side of things. Getting to be an engineer at a place like Playback. If you had to pick, like, top 3 things you've learned or want to pass on, or just insights you have from everything you've done till now.
Yeah, okay.
What would you say to that?
I think one is, like, be a likable person. Just don't be a dick. And that one is hard. Some people do that. And unfortunately, like, there are some people who are dicks who have gotten to a high level. Maybe they became a jerk that way or whatever. Yeah. Like, it does happen. Like, people do get away with it. But in my opinion, the people that I've gotten to work with who in my eyes are, like, the most successful of that list, they're all just, like, really nice people, and you can count on them to not be a jerk. And again, it's so underrated. It seems so simple, but it's so important, because even though, like, even just, you know, I'm going to talk about LA specifically. Los Angeles is a big city, but the music industry within it is really small. Doing this for, like, almost a decade now, I still run into people at studios that maybe I haven't seen in 8 years. And we used to work together at Atlantic, or I recorded them one time randomly in a session and never saw them again. You'll be working, or even just out in the city, like, doing groceries, and you'll run into somebody that you met, and the difference between, like, you reconnecting with somebody and then actually, like, going on to do more work and not is, like, that one memory of you where you were, like, not a cool person in the studio. So being a good person and being just likable and someone who's, like, a joy to be around. I'm not saying you got to be the ray of sunshine every time you walk in the room, but you have to, people want to be able to spend 6, 8, 10, 12 maybe more hours in the room with you. Closely followed by that, though, is, like, know your shit and like, stand on it too, because sometimes I feel like engineers especially, like, get treated kind of shittily, and it's because artists will just go to all these different studios and they'll maybe have a bad engineer, so that's what their thing is, or they're just like, oh, you just press 3. But so sometimes people will try to, like, undermine your knowledge a little bit, and if you know your shit, like, don't be afraid to stand on what you say. It's like, no, like you just have to find a way to communicate that well. But yeah, I think just like not allowing yourself to be undermined and like hold yourself to the standard that you know you can perform at. And if somebody is asking you like something simple like, oh, move the purple one, but the one they really want is the blue one, and then you move the purple one for them, and they're like, no, that's wrong, you're fucking up. Like, you'd be like, no, dude, like, here's the blue one. This is what you actually want. I can do what you're asking for, you know? So standing on your knowledge and but keeping it professional. And then 3, what's a good third one? I have, like, so many. I think just being reliable. Also, that's like a good quality, that I think you have to have. Okay, I'm going to combine 2. I'm going to cheat.
Let's go.
Reliable and open-minded. Because you have to, like, be someone that they can count on to, you know, be there and do a good job. So not just showing up, but showing up in that way, too. But also, like, you might not always work on music that you are familiar with, or they might ask you to record a theremin. Like, I had never recorded a theremin before, but I figured it out, you know, just because you haven't done it or experienced it yet, or you think you might not even be interested in that type of music or that type of gig, doesn't mean you should not do it. If anything, I think that's like more of a reason to do it, because you're going to learn. So yeah, being open-minded, always ready to learn, and being a person who shows up both like physically and on the boards, on the computer with your skills.
I love that. It's like the ingredients, it's like the right career ingredients.
I mean, not all of them. I could only give you 3, technically 4, but you know, I think those are all good traits to have, and they're all traits that I have found have, like, you know, kept me working in this industry and getting invited back. You know, I'm very proud of my return rate of clients. Like, there are not, in almost 10 years, most of the people I work with, I've been working with for several years now. So, and then new clients, they stay, you know? So I'm really, really proud of that, actually.
I love that. The principles of Shan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shan University.
Yeah, Shan University.
Enrollment opening soon. Hit me up.
Yeah. Well, you do consultations, so I guess it.
I do, yeah.
So guys, Shan University, and also, like you said, I just want to echo, don't be an ass.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
For sure. I do this on the podcast too, so I guess we'll do it on location. So to sum up everything we spoke about, I always love to ask, you know, whoever I'm chatting with to drop. It can literally be anything that you want to say to the music industry audio world. So feel free to take that in any direction you may choose.
I mean, okay, the Grammy nominations just came out yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that is a super motivator to just keep going, because yes, like, I don't care what anybody says, if we don't have a Grammy, we all want one, we all want a plaque, but the symbolism behind it is like, just like, keep going, I feel like, because, you know, it's never too late to start, but it's always way too early to finish. And I'm proud of I just came up with that. I don't know if that's a word, or if that's a phrase, but
that was so philosophical.
Yeah, I feel like I just dropped a bar.
Dude, I'm gonna have to edit in like a Shan University.
Yes, yo, that's hilarious. No, I'm like, whoa, did I just say that? Yeah, but like, you know, just keep going. Persistence is super key. I've made a lot of like lifestyle changes this year, and I feel like in order to allow me to continue the path the way that I want to continue it, you know, freelancing is hard. This summer was a very slow summer for me, and so I had to look at other avenues of getting money and doing like corporate live sound and stuff. And like, it's okay. You just gotta put yourself in the position to be able to do that, you know? So yeah, just don't give up. It's so corny. It sounds so corny, but it's true. I mean, you know, you're gonna get the Grammy one day. The only way you can guarantee that is if you just the only way you can guarantee that not happening is if you just quit. So yeah, I think just keep going and have fun, because I've been having a lot of fun with it recently, and I'm like really grateful for that. So don't forget to have fun.
Dude, that was awesome.
Thank you.
That was also really touching.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm moved, genuinely. That was great. Thank you. Shan, you're a star.
You're the star. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for letting me be in your video. I appreciate it.
Girl, please. I'm in your video. I do want to quick shout out KSD Monitors. They're amazing. Playback LA. Thank you for letting us do this here. And Yeah, those are the only shots. And of course, Safari Pedals, what's up, man? Thank you, Safari Pedals. You guys are so great, always so supportive of me and give me so much love. So I can't thank you enough, for real.
Dude, that's really sweet. And again, shout out Playback for having us through. And guys, all of Shan's relevant links in the description if you want to chat, you know, Shan University.
Come on.
You guys know
Hit
the whole
me up for mixing, mastering, recording. I can even record you if you're not in LA, so we can figure that out.
True.
Consultations, even if you just want to say, hey, hit me up. I'm available.
Yes, amazing. So guys, I guess until next time, I'll catch you somewhere else.
Peace.
Peace.
I turn it up, watch me go to the max. You ain't at first and you know that you last. I thought I told him I'm coming right back. I got a flows like it came from the tap, and I came from my city that's right on my back. Oof.